The clash between Takeshi Sendo and Ricardo Martinez is just around the corner. The long-awaited battle is finally upon us, and after their face-to-face encounter in the latest manga chapter, the hype has never been higher. But with this impending fight, a heated debate reignites within the fandom. Is Sendo truly the most capable opponent Ricardo Martinez has ever faced? Some fans argue Eiji Date was Ricardo's toughest challenge. Others point to Wally with his overwhelming speed and wild unpredictability. And a significant number still believe Alfredo Gonzalez holds the title as Ricardo's greatest rival. Today, I'm diving into this debate with full force, breaking down each of these contenders and explaining why I believe Sendo is, without a doubt, the most complete, dangerous, and worthy rival Ricardo has ever encountered. Let's begin with Eiji Date, a legend in his own right, and perhaps the most frequently mentioned name when it comes to Ricardo's past adversaries. Personally, I believe that Sendo operates on an entirely different level now, not only in fighting style, but in strength, endurance, growth, and sheer impact. As the manga has progressed, so have the fighters. The world of Hajime no Ippo has evolved, and the level of competition has intensified. Ricardo Martinez himself appears even more untouchable now than in his past bouts. Let's compare their achievements. Before facing Ricardo for the second time, Date defeated the world's number 5, Eric Brooks. He handled him smoothly and then moved directly into the title match. Meanwhile, Sendo carved his way through a gauntlet of world-ranked opponents, each fight tougher than the last, each opponent more dangerous. His journey culminated in a violent, punishing battle against Alfredo Gonzalez, the man who had previously knocked out Ippo. Alfredo was ranked second in the world when he faced Ippo. It's not unreasonable to think he may have been number 1 by the time he fought Sendo. Either way, Sendo's path was far more brutal, far more demanding, and far more impressive. And here's where it gets interesting: Ricardo's perception. Before fighting Date, Ricardo told the press not to expect anything from him. And he was right. He dismantled Date after a single round of analysis. He even admitted internally that the fight could end quickly. Date exceeded expectations by hanging on longer than expected, but left the ring a broken man. Multiple fractures, a shredded body, barely able to walk. And the only reason he lasted that long, Ricardo was holding back. This was later confirmed through Miyata's father, who explained Ricardo's tendency to restrain himself to avoid permanently injuring opponents. We saw this in the way Ricardo hesitated before landing the final blow on Date, clearly burdened by the possibility of causing serious harm. But now, as the fight with Sendo looms, Ricardo's approach is entirely different. Instead of dismissing him, Ricardo asked Sendo directly, "Can I expect something from you?" And the moment he saw the look in Sendo's eyes, wild, primal, filled with unshakable will, he understood. He respects Sendo enough to prepare. Let's not forget, Ricardo chose to fight Wally as a warm-up. He didn't have to. He sought him out to prepare himself for the fury that Sendo brings. That speaks volumes. And if we compare their only shared opponent, Ippo, the contrast becomes clear. Date defeated a mentally shaken, self-doubting Ippo who wasn't at his peak. Sendo fought a matured, seasoned, powerful Ippo and nearly won. From achievements, perception, and sheer grit, Sendo wins this one. Now let's talk about Wally. Wally was a surprise, a whirlwind, a genius of instinct. He gave Ricardo more trouble than anyone anticipated. It took Ricardo 4 full rounds just to read him. Wally even landed clean hits, something very few can claim. And at the very end, Ricardo revealed a terrifying glimpse of his savage self, a side we rarely see. But even with all of that, Ricardo was never in danger, never outmatched. He remained in control. Now, let's flip the question. What if Wally had fought Date or Alfredo? I don't think either of them would have had a chance. Wally's speed, unpredictability, and animalistic instincts would have overwhelmed Alfredo. He wouldn't have been able to adapt in time. Once Alfredo panics, he defaults to wild swings. and Wally would have toyed with him. The same goes for Date. As technically skilled as he was, Date's style wasn't built to handle someone like Wally. He wouldn't have been able to pin him down, wouldn't have found the rhythm. But Sendo. Sendo is a predator, a real one, a tiger. His timing, pressure, and instincts could have cornered even Wally. In a cage with Sendo, Wally becomes prey. Sendo's will is relentless, his strikes are merciless, and once he finds the scent, he doesn't stop until the fight is his. In my mind, Sendo is the only one of the three with a real chance of stopping Wally. Now, Alfredo Gonzalez. This one's easy. Alfredo is a brilliant boxer, sharp, aggressive, dangerous. But let's be honest, he's Ricardo light, a shadow of the champ. Everything Alfredo does, Ricardo does better. His power, his speed, his composure, his technique, Ricardo outclasses him in every category. And Sendo already beat Alfredo. Case closed. If Alfredo had faced Wally, it would have ended badly for him. He wouldn't have figured him out. He would have fallen apart, and I doubt he would have even landed a clean punch. So what's the final verdict? Is Sendo Ricardo's greatest rival? Yes, absolutely. Without a shred of doubt in my mind. Date had heart, Wally had talent, Alfredo had power. But Sendo has all of that, and more. He has the will to die in the ring, the rage to charge forward no matter the cost. The respect of Ricardo Martinez himself. Among Ricardo's rivals, none stand above Takeshi Sendo. And if you disagree, I genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more Hajime no Ippo reviews, breakdowns, and theories. Good night, champ.